Hello, everybody. How are we feeling? Woo! You people are not making noise like people that are getting a £450 goodie bag after this. So. That's more like it. This is the third session of the Beauty Beat 2024, and it's a very special one. The phones are up. I see how many people are on socials here. Who has social media? Everybody. Who finds it stressful? Me. I don't like posting on social media. But that's what the next session is about. It's about amplifying your storytelling. We have some queens of content who are killing it on TikTok. Shout out to TikTok. And they are going to really give us some expert tips as to how to increase your engagement, boost your storytelling, and really make it, make your socials pop, make your stories pop, and just give what it needs to give, basically. We have the best of the best. These are the girls that get it, and they're going to really tell you what's what. And to guide us through this conversation, we have the wonderful Kimberly Cumberbatch. So let me invite our gracious host to the stage. Exactly. Go, Kimberly. Woo, woo. Go, Kimberly. Woo, woo.
Feel like Oprah.
Yeah, it's giving Oprah. And with that, I will let Kimberly take over the reins, and I'm going to learn how to tick my talk. Thank you very much. Woo, woo, woo.
Hello, everybody. Oh, you guys are so nice. Welcome to the TikTok Queens of Content panel. I'm your host, Kimberly Cumberbatch. I'm a content creator and a presenter from sunny Southeast London. Right, we're going to have some super serious gems here, right? We're going to have a Q&A at the end, so save your questions till the end. We're going to have someone coming around for mic. It's going to be amazing. Please, can we welcome my wonderful panelists? How are we all feeling?
Good, thank you.
We're feeling good, ladies?
Feeling amazing.
Locked in? Candy, you lost your earring there, babe?
Again.
Literally, I told her to keep running away from her.
All right, we're going to start with some bios. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with all the faces here, but let's talk a little bit about why they're on this panel. Starting with Kenza. Everyone give a little round of applause for Kenza.
Hello.
Thank you. Kenza has built a dedicated and loyal following and has already amassed over 700,000 TikTok followers. Kenza has a keen interest in art, and her artistic style is naturally applied when curating flawless makeup tutorials and pulling her fashion looks together. Round of applause for Kenza, please. Up next, we've got Uche.
Yeah, I love you guys.
Uche is a social media star, speaker, and beauty expert, dubbed the Base Queen for mastering flawless complexions with makeup. After her makeup school TikTok videos went viral, Uche is known as the face of the UK girl makeup. Winnie Adebayo, everybody! Whitney is a renowned content creator, businesswoman, and public figure who has captured the nation's heart with her national television debut in 2023. Whitney has quickly become a beloved figure in the lifestyle and entertainment space. Round of applause for Whitney, please, everybody. Now, Candy. Round of applause. Candy is a London-based creator who focuses on all things fashion, lifestyle, and tech. Her main passion is showing her individuality through her platforms. Round of applause again. And finally, we've got the gorgeous Michaela. Michaela is a beauty, fashion, and lifestyle creator. She graduated with a degree in makeup for media and performance, specializing in fashion. She has worked as a makeup artist for 5 years, using that knowledge and experience to share with her audience. Round of applause. All right, I know your hands are probably hurting now, darling, so no more rounds of applause for a minute. Let's get into our questions. Everyone ready?
Yeah.
First question, ladies. I would like you all to tell me a little bit, your TikTok journey, what was the content that originally found success?
For me, I started my journey on Instagram, and that transferred to TikTok. And I feel like I have a broad, I have different content on TikTok, and people like to get to know my personality on there as well as beauty content, and I feel like it's nice to blend both together. So I do vlogs, I do day in the lives, I do get ready with me's, and yeah, that's it.
You, Uche.
I feel like for me, what really cemented my place in the TikTok world is definitely yapping, makeup and yapping. It kind of feels like you're doing your makeup and you're yapping. There's not really much to it. That's really what did it for me, to be honest.
You lot know I didn't work that hard. I went on the show. But we here. Next. Praise God. It's God's favor. What's mine?
We like an honest queen.
I just love editing and finding like creative, cool ways to do content. So yeah, that's me. You go.
Okay. I basically just got on the internet and was tired of people telling me that everything's amazing. And I was like, everything is not amazing. Let's be real. We have money to spend, but we have money to save. Yeah. So
true.
I started by telling people this is not worth it. Get this instead.
You've kind of answered a
Necessary.
follow-up question, so we'll work backwards, starting with Candy. Why did you start creating beauty content, or your specific niche?
For beauty, I was actually on a trip with Uche and Makai, and we were all just like sharing our journey and where we're at. And I was just like, I really would love to do beauty, but I kind of don't understand how it works. Like, how do you angle a camera? How do you record things? So I just sat with them and they showed me how to do it. And then I was like, oh, I think I can just keep this on. So I feel like creating a community that you can lean on and like ask questions personally helped me in my beauty journey.
Stunning. Whitney?
Well done. Guys.
Don't do it. Don't say it. Don't.
No, I genuinely believe my followers always encourage me to create content. Because before, I wasn't really a social media girl. But because of my stands, I'm just like, okay, guys, what should we do this week? What should we do that week? So I wouldn't say I even know what I'm doing yet. But it's just one of them YOLO moments. And it works out. Sometimes you've got to put yourself out there, and then you'll see. You'll reap the rewards.
Love TikTok, big love to TikTok, and I say that because I'm going to talk about other platforms. Basically, I started on YouTube, so most people know me from my YouTube days, but YouTube and Instagram are very different, so I pivoted to Instagram. YouTube was great because you can really like yap and talk, and people listen to you do makeup and talk, but the issue with Instagram is that's not really what people want to hear on Instagram. So TikTok was an incredible platform for me because it was almost a hybrid of YouTube and Instagram, and I think a lot of people really loved me talking on YouTube, and like one of my key pillars is to add value and to educate, which is quite difficult to do on Instagram, particularly when you're just stitching a couple of video clips together and just putting music over it. You kind of really lose that essence. So TikTok in a way kind of brought me back to like myself and what I love so much about content and like all the things I really love about YouTube. And I know people are on my nut to get back on YouTube, but it's so nice because I can essentially do what I did on YouTube on TikTok, which is just like yapping, and still combine like the amazing like makeup. So that's kind of how I landed on a hybrid and landed in my like little space on TikTok because I was able to combine the two things that I love about YouTube and Instagram.
And for me, I feel like I use each platform for different reasons. So my Instagram is for more static images and for branding and PR. So you want to use that to leverage the brands that you work with, and it's more of like a portfolio. Whereas my YouTube is more like my true personality. I can go in depth with who I really am. And then on TikTok is like a shortened version, like a hybrid of both, because you can have the visuals and you can also have the personality. So it's a perfect platform that like kind of combines the both in the middle, that you can show yourself and show your work while still giving like short form content that people can digest.
So you've all been in this space for various times. Tell me, how has your content evolved from, let's say, your very first TikTok? Where did you start and where are we now?
Where do we start? My TikToks were like dancing TikToks.
Well, now I get views. Stop. You don't know them ones.
So real.
No, but it's so real. Like in the beginning, you put in so much effort to get 0 views. It's painful. So it does help, but I feel like even like at this point, because I know a lot of people don't post, and I know you guys want to post, but even at this stage, like of course, like every time we post as content creators, we want that viral moment. But even for us, our heart sinks when we only get like 4,000 or whatever. But it's
Bring
just
it down from 4,000. Let's be realistic. 100
No, but
views.
I'm just saying, even for us, it's painful to go from like such a high to like our kind of low.
Do you know what? Just piggybacking off the back of what Whitney said,
Guys,
I actually feel like the major key, which is, if you've ever heard me speak before, you've ever like listened to any of like the class I used to do on Clubhouse, I would always talk about like being very analytical. When I approach content, I approach it in a very analytical way. And the number one thing that's helped me get over the anxiety of views and get over the anxiety of, is this going to do well, is this not going to do well, particularly when it comes to working with brands. And you can't always guarantee that. Ultimately, everyone wants to make, well, people that take it seriously want to make a living out of it. So you essentially want to get to a place where you're working with brands. And when your content does well with brands, they give you more work. The way I found to really, you can't really ensure that something's going to get views, but the way I found to make sure it does well to a certain capacity is what you'll find a lot if you're familiar with my content. I talk a lot. Most of my content is original content. I try not to rely on trending sounds. I try not to rely on music. 2 reasons. Number one, it is so long trying to find music. I think maybe because I come from a YouTube background, back in the day, you couldn't just slap any song on it. Everything is like commercial. It has to be royalty free. So you just got into that pattern, and trying to find royalty free music that was actually good was a ball ache. And the second thing is, I watched a lot of people and I realized that some of the people that get consistently strong views, like a Monet or even like an Anna Paul, it's original content. If you go in and you have a look at some of your faves, well, maybe not all your faves, but some of the people that I think are really like key players, even Jackie, it's original content. They are just talking. So when I first started on TikTok, I fell into that trap of doing trending sounds or like trying to keep up with the latest sounds. And then one day I realized I need to do my own thing because people need to be invested in me, not in, particularly on an app like TikTok where you don't just see people that you follow. You're on your For You page and you just see anyone. You really want people to be invested in you and like what you're putting on and like your content, which eventually, how many years later, led to me doing makeup school, which then obviously led to like the viral moment. But you don't get a viral moment like that from just doing trending sounds. You really have to carve out a lane for yourself. And I think that's how people really, really connect with you.
And the viral moment is a good thing to touch on. So I'm going to share a bit of my story now. So a couple of years ago, I went viral for a Fenty lip gloss hot chocolate.
Woo!
Yeah. Yes.
I tried it because of you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I
It
was
a good
too
time.
influenced.
But as you were saying, when you have that viral moment, then it was like, cool, I can keep trying on lip gloss, yeah? There's only so many lip glosses, right? So I had to I need to do something else now. What's next? But what I will say, and for everyone, authenticity is what people buy into. So when we all watch each individual content, it's like, I am watching you because it's you, not just because it's a trending sound or a trending dance. It's because you've actually taken the time out to sit and think, this is what I want to produce. So I just want to give you all can we give them all a little round of applause for what they've done? So let's talk about high quality beauty content, right? What do you specifically pay attention to? As in, do you have any strategies for creating new videos? I'm going to go straight over to you, Michaela.
I think, put me on the spot.
Oh yeah, honey.
I think strategy for videos, especially when you're talking about beauty, is there are so many people that will tell you the same thing, and there are so many people that will want to show you that something is amazing or want to show you that something looks great when they're applying it, but you don't buy something because it looks great for 5 minutes. You buy something because it looks great for ages, and I think people value an actual genuine review, because when I'm shopping, I know if I've seen Uche try something, I'm like, yeah, I know it's gonna work.
Valid.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, those are the people that I look for, is someone who's gonna give me a genuine, honest review on how long something's gonna last, how well something's gonna look. And don't be afraid to show people your pores, to show people up close that it's creasing, because that's real life. And that's what everybody values. And I think I found most growth when I was like, hey guys, this is making my skin look diabolical. Have a look. come close and see. And we all have phones, use them. Get close, get up close and personal. And I think that helps with the quality of your content.
Anybody else got any cheeky tips for creating that strategy?
Yeah. Oh,
He's a bad boy.
mine, I'm like, I do content, but everything I do is more on the technical side. Like, if I'm gonna do a piece of content, I do what filmmakers do. I storyboard, I write the exact frames, and then I produce that. And then I also invest in kits, like a Sony is my go-to camera for like video, and Canon is for pictures. So everyone else is different. Like Uche's great at talking, Michaela's great at like giving reviews, but I think there's also like space for people who like putting more effort and not more effort, putting
No, but it is actually more effort. No, it is more effort.
but like
No, it is actually
cinematography and people who like movies and people who like referencing. Like a video of mine went viral because it's a top-down view, but it's from a Kendrick Lamar video. And if you had enough time to research different interesting angles, maybe your content would differentiate. If everything's shot the same way, why can't you do yours differently? Yeah, that's
I definitely think if you're familiar with Candy's content, she does a lot of fashion and she's very playful. She's very out of the box with fashion. And I think just to use Candy as an example and the point Michaela touched on, I actually don't think you were talking about product, but it's a good point about people always tell you to do the same things. But someone like Candy doesn't do the same things. Her content is absolutely incredible. The editing style is absolutely insane. It's not just a trend in sound, it's a sound that makes sense for the content. And I feel when you're in this industry or when you watch, there's loads of accounts that have followers just based on telling people how to do content or what content's gonna do the best. And then you get people like us that just kind of do our own things and we're all very different in our own right and doesn't necessarily fit the mold of what someone will tell you that you need to do, and we're still lit. So I think it's just a testament to you really need to do what makes sense for you. Even if you have 3 months of low views. No one ever died from low views. I know there's so much anxiety around
100%.
what if I post it and no one sees it, but it's like, bro, that's the best time because you can do what you want and no one's on your nut about anything.
And
like,
you never know
can
who's
just
watching
post.
you.
yeah, you
Pardon?
You never know who's watching you.
Right.
You never know, like, 1 of 6 views. I saw this video.
I know what video you...
The guy who
I was
was
gonna
like,
say
his
it.
1 view was Oprah.
Yeah, that's Paul Branson.
And you never know who's watching you. He had no views on YouTube. He was still posting.
Yeah.
You never know who's watching. And some of my like least viral videos have got me bigger deals because they're like, I loved that video of yours.
Yeah.
So don't delete your content that's got 300 views.
Oh my God, don't delete your content.
Yeah.
People
Keep
get
it
like
up.
1K views and they're like, I have
Yeah.
to delete it. Why?
People will message me and will have like one picture on Instagram and one TikTok and will be like, oh, I want to be an influencer. How do I do it? But it's like, you have to post. Like, someone will gravitate towards what you're doing. And the crazy thing is, you don't know who's watching. Like, I've shot for Drake's clothing brand in Toronto, and I was like, how did he even see my profile? But literally just from posting, from creating something curated that people can digest, I feel like that's really important because you want to make your content digestible. You want to make it so that it's seamless, so that people can take it in and learn something from it. What I try to do with all my content is have some sort of introduction, context, and conclusion so that it's digestible and someone can learn something from the content. And I feel like that's really important because someone can take something from a 1-minute video, a 15-second video, and I think that's the beauty of it.
Just to unpack a little bit what Michaela said, the person you're talking about, do you guys watch Maths? Yeah. Paul C. Brunson, right? The main guy on Maths. He had a YouTube channel. It was getting 12 views each episode. And 1 view was Oprah. She endorsed him, and now he's absolutely fantastic. So what you're saying for all of us, there are times you'll post and you will get 400 views, yeah. And it's quite dark at the time. But you don't know who's watching it, and you have to keep pushing. Also, something else I would add, sometimes you'll post a video, it's got really low views, and then 3 months later, now it's trending.
Yeah, things always recycle.
It just goes viral somewhere.
So as everyone said there, don't delete your content, keep posting out. Look at TikTok, I suppose, it's like a CV. It's your CV. This is everything you're documenting.
Exactly.
And TikTok's, honestly, it's not that deep with the content. Like, people like original, authentic content. So even going back on the quality point, like, there are some people that have top quality kind of content, but then there's others with low quality, but you have to start from somewhere. But as long as you start, that's all that matters. Because if you go back to that person's first video, it did not look like that. I'll tell you for free. But it's all about the journey. Yeah, we see the grains, we see the peeling wallpaper. Like, but we're up now. But you gotta go back. Babe, it's true. Start from the
true,
bottom, now
though.
we're here.
It's true.
Guys, just start. You just never know. Babe,
Peeling wallpaper's crazy.
yeah, but now
But
it's got
the,
panels.
even the trending sounds, I feel like help.
Clark it.
Let's talk a little bit about motivations, right? What exactly motivated you to start? And what I'm particularly interested in is what has motivated you to keep going? Because we also know in this industry, there's a lot that could knock you back and you could suddenly quit. So what was kind of your motivation starting and how did you keep going from there?
I feel like for me, it came naturally because I have a natural interest in makeup, in fashion, in expressing myself. Like, that's how I express myself. So I feel like the best content is when you express yourself how you naturally would anyway, how you would with your friends, how you would with your peers is the best sort of content that you can produce for others, because what people gravitate towards you in real life is what they're going to gravitate towards you online. So if you now want to be a makeup guru, but in real life you don't really care about makeup that much, it's going to translate online. People are going to see through it because people can see authenticity. So if you have something that people gravitate towards naturally in real life, then really like focus on that, and that's your niche online, because people will care about that online because they care about it in real life, but you have a larger platform online that you can like share that with the whole world.
And what's actually motivated you to keep going, Kenza?
I feel like it's important to have a good team. It's important that when you're building yourself, that you have boundaries, that you understand your worth, because if you don't understand your worth, no one else is going to understand your worth. Mm-hmm. So I feel like once you understand who you are, what you stand for, then you can advocate for yourself and you can build a team around you that believes in you the same way that you believe in yourself. So you have to believe in yourself first before everyone else is going to believe in you, because otherwise it's not going to happen. The whole world tries to tear you down. So you have to be the one person that doesn't. You literally have to be the one person that advocates for yourself.
Uche, darling, give us some tea.
Clap?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You guys thought we stopped clapping. We haven't stopped, yeah?
Speaking candidly and specifically about TikTok, I think one thing a lot of people aren't very honest about is longevity and what it takes to maintain longevity in an industry like this, and also the commitment. So I'll be really honest, for a really long time, I was quite resistant to TikTok. But then I woke up one day and I realized I can't say bitch. I already said it now. I was like, I said, this your job, B. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think a lot of the times, even when people would say to me, oh, you need to get on TikTok, I'd be like, oh, there's always an excuse behind why you don't want to do it.
That's so true.
But one thing about this industry is if you don't move, you will get left behind. As someone that's been in it for a super, super long time, there's people that I used to go to that were like the big wigs. Like, they were on every trip, they were at every event, their content was everywhere. But what happens often, which I've also been guilty of, that people get quite complacent. And you say things like, oh, I don't need to be on TikTok, or when it was YouTube, or I don't need to be on Instagram, and then you kind of get left behind. And when it comes to a time where you realize that actually I really need this platform in order to move forward, it's too late. So I think the motivation for me starting TikTok was that realization of, this is my job. I like my job, and I would quite like to stay employed. So I need to kind of move with the times. Something that I was very anxious about, I'm older, and I think there's definitely a younger crowd on TikTok, but it's so crazy because they're now the ones that are giving me a lot of relevancy. And I think relevancy is something that you really, not to be confused with like clout or stuff like that, but it's like appropriate relevancy, like people, giving you your tens for what you're really about, not because you're doing X, Y, and Z and making a fool of yourself or whatever, but genuine like relevancy. And you need to, if you want to keep making money in this industry, as I assume a lot of people, when people talk about they want to have a certain success or they want to take TikTok to a certain height, I would assume it's because, whatever reason, like it's lucrative, whatever. There's no shame in saying that. I feel like there's a lot of shame around lucracy and social media. But it's a job, and it's a well-paying job, and, who doesn't want to do well from something that they love? So yeah, that's what brought me onto TikTok. What's kept me on TikTok is, like I said earlier, about the hybrid of like being able to do what I loved so much about YouTube. When I started YouTube, it really wasn't anything that people did for a job. Instagram, I actually pivoted to Instagram because that's where the money was moving in the industry. That's why I started investing more into Instagram. But TikTok is great because I can yap. I feel like I connect with so many of you guys that love makeup and beauty and like skincare and fashion just like me. And I can get paid, so I'm really happy with it. So that's why I started and why I stay relevant, why I stay consistent. Yeah. Oh, you guys don't have to clap for that. You do not have to.
On cue.
Whitney.
Whitney,
motivates
motivations.
What motivates me?
Yeah, tell us.
What, in life?
Well, yeah.
answer, please.
Why not?
Wow. What, on social media?
Yeah, content, babe.
Right. What motivates me on social media? One, money, great.
Yeah.
Be honest.
Money
No, be
good.
honest.
Oh, money's sweet. Money's amazing. But other than that, honestly, it's longevity. And I say it in the terms of, like, you know, when you in life, when you think, okay, where do I want to be in the next 5 years? And you need to understand that this is just a moment in your life, and the person you're going to be, like, it's a moment. We're not here forever. So whilst we're here, we might as well ride that wave heavy. But it's not endgame. I wouldn't say social media is endgame for me, but right now it's lit. I'm here, I'm young, and I'm thriving. And then when I'm 30, I'm out.
Not too much.
No,
Like, are you
sugar.
okay? Whitney, you can't say that. Like, 30's old. Like,
No, I'm saying for my personal journey, no shade. It's not
there can never be shade. It can never be shade.
No, but I always forget your age, you know? Like,
I'm gonna
so
keep
young.
going till the end.
No,
Till you see grey hairs.
I'm just saying in the sense of, like, this is where I'm at now. Obviously, like,
It's fine. Everyone's
don't-
journey is different.
I don't focus, like, you're predominantly beauty creators, whereas I do everything. And I'm not able to pick just one thing and stick in it. So it might be podcast, it might be TV, it might be personality, it might be makeup. Like, I can fly wherever I want to go, and I'm grateful for it. So I say that in the sense of, right now I'm here, but down the line, I do just want to double down on business.
Oh,
And stay at home with my husband and kids.
Can we get a little round of applause?
So no shade, queen, base queen.
But you can also be
deserves
on
it.
socials.
No, I want a
And
quiet
not
life.
Not you, but I'm just
me
saying.
personally,
I think you can tell that it's not one thing for everyone. Do you know?
No,
Everyone
it's
has that, they're
different.
You're
yeah.
good. Everyone's got their individual journey, their
Exactly.
individual
And
goals.
also, I blew up in a year. You've actually built it
Yeah.
Clock
from
it.
knee high. So
Tell them.
big up you.
Period.
And so I've had an
Yeah.
easier journey in that sense.
Different journey.
Yeah, but exactly. So you deserve everything that you have now.
Thank you.
Thank
Exactly, because you worked hard for it. And I'm working hard,
That is
guys.
cute.
But big up the ones like you.
Candy, my
Like
love. Motivations.
I actually had a 9 to 5, and I worked as a senior marketing officer in an energy company. And I remember I used to go in, and it'd be a sunny day, and I'd press my palm against the window and last. No, I mean dead ass. And last, I'll be like, please, God, I cannot do this forever. I'm begging you, God, give me an influencer job. Please, God, this cannot be my portion. Do you understand? Do you understand? Then one day, they said, oh, lockdown. I said, hey, lockdown, what does that mean? They said, you go home. I said, very good. When I entered the house, do you understand? I started doing Instagram every day. I'll be posting. I would, like, wake up so early, do content, like, focus on it so much. And I got a point, like, it was, like, the second year of lockdown. And I was like, can I just do this job 4 days a week? And they were like, nah, you, like, have to do it full time. And I was like, all right, quit. Like, I can actually just, if I can have this motivation right now, I have the personality type, I'm just going to run it. And then I've been full time ever since. And what,
Woo! Yeah. Paid in full.
Don't play with her.
And what keeps me going is I feel like once you get in a point in your head where you see the life you want, you have to run it. You can't just slip and be like, oh, well, I'll go back to 9 to 5, I'll go back to this. I'm like, bro, for as long as I can do this, I'm going to do this. And that's just, yeah, that's me.
10 toes. Michaela, darling, motivation, speak to us.
What motivates me? Don't quit your day job if you can't quit your day job first. I didn't quit my day job to do this at first. What motivates me, I think, like Uche, I like to yap, I like to talk, and I'm passionate about what I do, and I think if you get online and you want to do something that you aren't passionate about, it runs out. That energy runs out, the drive runs out. So if you get online and you're thinking, I'm going to be the next, don't be the next, be you. And that's what keeps you motivated, because you're not trying to keep on top of things, you're just being yourself. And I think that's what keeps me motivated. Obviously, it's nice now that I get paid, so I can sustain doing this, and you get to do and be in places that you probably wouldn't dream of being when you're in your 9-to-5 with the palm on the window. But those things come in time, and I think what looks like is super amazing and really cool straight away isn't that straight away. It's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of graft, but the little highlights keep motivating you to keep going again and again and again.
Thank you for sharing that. Should we get into some actual tools on TikTok? So what creation tools provided by TikTok help you most with your most high quality content? What are we using when we're in the app? Tell us.
I'm using CapCut, and I love CapCut.
I love CapCut.
Mind you, Kimberly said
love
in the
CapCut.
app.
Well,
In the
in
app.
it sends you straight to
In
TikTok.
the app.
Oh yeah, she's right.
It
does-
sends you straight to
takes you
TikTok.
TikTok.
And one thing I've found is that captions work really, really well for me. And CapCut, which is, I think it's an app generated by TikTok, if I'm correct, it actually...
Tied it in, everyone.
yeah, it's so good. It actually uses AI, and you can create captions. So when you're speaking, instead of like typing everything that you're saying, it creates captions for you through the whole video. And sometimes when I'm like in the back of the cab or something and I don't want to like put the volume up, or I'm connected to the speaker and I don't want to go on TikTok and TikTok cuts off the sound, I like to watch videos that have captions, because I don't actually have to listen to the audio and I can watch the video without an audio. So captions work really well when you can create beauty content and a makeup video by having captions, and it's still like people can still understand your content without having to have an audio to it. So that really pushes your content out a lot more, because people can watch it anywhere they are. So that's helped me a lot. I feel like videos with captions push my videos out a lot more.
And they're inclusive.
Yeah.
From an
Definitely.
accessibility point of view,
Yeah, that's actually
it's for everybody.
Yeah.
So I respect it. Everybody get your captions on, please.
Yes,
And also,
go on
if,
CapCut.
if you're in the office and you can't really turn that up, you need the captions.
Exactly.
What other tools have you been using?
One tool I really like on TikTok, which I think makes it quite unique, is, and it's good for like times like Christmas or Halloween or anything like that, is the recording to the sounds. So whether you do literally like a sequence of clips and you're singing along to whatever sound, or you do a transition, I feel like there's such good ways to, I know I spoke earlier about trending sounds and not falling into them, but you know, everything mix and blend with everything. It's such a good way to get your content out there. If something is really trending like Brokey, Latto, or What Do You Know About Me, Gorilla, I literally just did a video to the gorilla one, and it did so well. And it's cute. I did like a hair transformation. I'm not even a hair girly, really and truly, but it's just a fun way to use the feature in app. And it's also, I love watching those types of content, particularly in like Halloween, because a lot of people do
Transitions.
It's just about the makeup, guys. It's nothing to do with the actual concept of a Halloween. I just like to see the looks. Yeah, people do transitions, or yeah, I think it's just fun and cute. Whether you do like a fashion one, or we did some backstage, some like cute, what was it, everybody ate.
When you all
Everybody
see
ate.
these TikToks after
When you see them,
today,
double tap, but everybody ate.
what other two, Michaela, Candy?
I started in app in my mum's bathroom with a little tripod, tapping away with my beauty content.
When everyone would do the...
Yeah, one a little, and then I'd do something, start again, do it again, do it again. I didn't speak on the app for ages. I was just filming myself, doing my makeup in app. I'd edit in app. I do it all in app, maybe until about 6-7 months ago. I was like, let me upgrade and film with my back camera. But I was in app, and I feel like people think you need a tripod, you need this, you need that. Stick that phone on a mirror. We all have that annoying Octobuddy thing. Stick it somewhere and start in app. The editing tools are so much better than they were when they started. No shade, TikTok. Love ya, you've upgraded. But all in app. And then you just keep going until you upgrade to CapCut. And then
Or
you go
Adobe.
from there, or Adobe if you're getting fancy. Premiere Pro, sure, but all in app. Use the app. The features are there.
Candy, do you want to chime in?
My favorite tool on TikTok is the analytical tool and the sweets.
Please, speak on that, please. Tell everybody.
A lot of my work and Uche's work is data driven. So normally in a week, I'll see what I posted in a week. I'll see what did well. I'll look at the comments, and then thematically, I'll create content based on feedback. So I'm not just creating in the air or making up stuff every week. I'm just reading what did well and making a different version of that. So yeah.
And also using it to make realistic goals. So I post a volume, which means I post a lot. So a realistic goal for me is like one piece of content that does over X amount of views in a week.
Yeah, in a week.
That's if I post like 3 times a day, up to 6 times a day, you can
One
do
of
the
them got
maths.
hit.
That's a lot of content. If only one of them goes to a certain point, my analytics for the week are sorted, and then based on that, you can kind of, obviously week by week you'll have different ones that do different, but that's how I know. That's now why I post so many chatty get ready with me, so like 7 minutes, 8 minutes, because they do so well. I don't know who's sitting down to watch it for 8 minutes, but they really
are.
work for
Clock it.
We are.
real ones. Yeah, but a lot of people will tell you, oh, do like a minute because everyone's not going to sit. But then it's like Candy said, really tapping into your analytics and finding out what works for your audience, so you're not just creating into a void.
You're not wasting your time.
Let's talk inspirations, right? Let's talk about some of our favorite TikTok beauty creators. Now, I'm going to just speak the truth now. Some of my favorite beauty content creators are sitting on this panel right now. Honestly, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, all of your journeys have been sick. I follow you all, yeah? I love it all. Tell me, who are some of your favorites?
I love Mikai. We've been on a couple trips together, and we just vibe, and she always gives me really good tips. And you know, when it's from a place of nurture, like, oh, you should do this with your makeup, and it's genuine. And I really appreciate her makeup content. So shout out to Mikai.
Shout out to my guy.
Makeup content. I think people this is not really about makeup, but this is just more from like a business standpoint and a blueprint kind of standpoint, like a Patricia or a Jackie Aina, because I think they've transcended really well outside of the online world. And I think for someone like me that obviously really values longevity and really values business, and like Candy and I have spoken about analytics, just outside of just paid partnerships, I think they've done such a good job at harnessing their online audience to translate into in real life, whether that's products, whether that's services, whether that's business. They've both been quite transparent about what they've done outside of beauty content. And, you know, they probably do a lot less. Like Jackie was known at times, she would always do product reviews and stuff like that. But it's so nice watching the journey and watching just kind of how they pivot outside of, not to say they don't do it anymore, but just giving us a bit more than that. So I think they're definitely like big inspirations for me.
For me, Queen Hadassah.
Oh, I love Esther.
Oh my gosh. I used to watch her all the time. Like, I learned how to do my makeup from her. And yeah, when I came out, she became my makeup artist. I was gassed.
Fight her.
Yeah, why?
No,
Don't fight
every
her
day I'm
before
like,
I
do
use
my
her
makeup.
again.
She says no.
Really? Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyways, Queen Hadassah. She's just my all-time fave, only because we've got very like similar face structures, and I feel like it's so hard to find like a beauty creator that's like my complexion. Don't you hate black ladies? Like, you know, when you watch a video and it's like, oh, but what shade should I get? Are we the same color? And we're similar complexion, so like I can buy anything she tells me to. So I just loved watching her content and her do my makeup. Your turn, babes.
I have like categories for makeup, and one. Sorry. For the dot side, which I like to call the light makeup side, it's Michaela and my friend Aisha Ahmed. And then for the full B, it's Uche and Makeup by Chelsea. And then
I
for
love
Olte,
Chelsea. Yeah.
it's Makai. So like I spread it out in categories of like what kind of makeup they do. But mainly it's like the light beat dot girls in it, because I'm not putting a lot of makeup on every day, you know. Just put light makeup. But yeah,
Andy's been calling Michaela dot girl behind the scenes, which basically means
No,
you
it
put a
was
dot.
I thought it was dot makeup. You know,
It's only because I said a dot.
oh yeah,
That's where that came from.
That girls.
Like makeup beats.
No, we ain't just put.
No, she's talking about just
Little bit
wearing
of
light
makeup.
makeup.
Oh,
dot.
like concealer. blush.
Yeah.
Of
Michaela, what about you?
A dot and a dot.
yeah. For beauty content creators, I think I watch a lot of the OG YouTubers that are now on TikTok. They're like Jackie Inez, Desi Perkins, those kind of like old school.
Oh, Desi's
girls.
another one actually.
Desi's really
outside
good
of
at the transition. But I think also I'm a review girl. I want to know if I'm buying something, I buy so much makeup. Tell me if it's good. So if you're going to give me a review, I'll watch it. I don't care who you are.
I would also add in Yuande. Banging.
Oh yeah,
makeup.
Yuande for the Ulta.
Banging. Absolutely banging. Let's get into my favorite question. And it is, how has your success on TikTok changed your life? I think that's a massive, everyone here probably on this panel can attest to TikTok has changed their lives. Even me, sitting on this panel right now, girls and people. TikTok, yeah?
Am I starting?
Yeah, honey.
Okay. I think there's pros and cons, for sure. Like, you have to remember that now, when you put yourself out there, there's going to be a lot of people that know you. And at the start, you might not profit from putting yourself out there. So be aware of that, because do you really want that? Do you really want a lot of people to know you before it actually becomes a job? Once it becomes a job, you understand that this is a requirement, and you kind of have to like adapt how your life is. And there's a lot of benefits, for instance, because you have more resources, so you're more careful about how you go about things, and you know, you can travel a lot, so you're not as much in the country and stuff like that. But there are definitely pros and cons, because you don't know who is watching as well. So where there's your beauty community and there's people that support and love you, sometimes it can create that like scary environment, because like people perhaps stare at you in public and you don't know if their intentions are good, if they want to come and ask for a picture, or if they like hate you, like you're low-key scared. So you have to, you know, understand what comes with it, because it's a job, but with that job affects your personal life. So I feel like that's something that needs to be understood, because it's such a public job that it affects like, you know, how you deal with relationships and stuff like that in your personal life, because everything is so public in your work life. So it's about finding that balance, really and truly. And that's the difficult part, I feel like.
Uche?
Can I say two ways?
You can say whatever you like.
Okay, so one way is obviously a very lucrative job, and I think for a lot of people in this industry, I heard someone say this like years and years ago, and she was a Canadian beauty creator called Samantha OG, proper OG. I don't know if any of you would know her, but she was just basically saying like how it was just really cool because wow, there's something in my eye. Sorry. It was really cool because for the amount that she gets paid and the age that she was, she'd be very hard pressed to find another job or career that paid her as much as that for her qualifications and things. So I think it can be a very lucrative business for you quite early on, actually, particularly if it's something that you love. Like, it's very difficult to find something that you really, really love that pays you really, really well. So that's one thing. And the second thing is, I mean, Rihanna said my name, guys, so life is different now. Do you get it? Life is, and that's purely because that moment came around purely because I wasn't even the first one to use, going back to Fenty, Fuchsia Flex Gloss Bomb. I wasn't even the first one to use it. It was Beauty by Evelyn and Tony Tone. I saw those two use it, and then I did it, and I was like, oh, saw this on these two. I did it. It went completely viral, and then off the back of that, I had that moment with Rihanna, which obviously would have never happened if I wasn't on TikTok. So basically, that's my best friend. So she said hi. Yeah.
Whitney?
Can you repeat the question again, please?
The question is, how has your success on TikTok changed your life?
I would say, like you were saying, yeah, you get paid a lot, but also, no, because I feel like it's glamorized, right?
Definitely.
Like the amount of money you
Definitely
make. But
work for
you
what
have,
you make, yeah.
Guys, these deliverables, like you have to work. Yeah. It's not like, I feel like a lot of people look from the outside in and they assume, oh my gosh, you guys make so much money, but it's like, we really have to work hard. Like, trust me, even I do. Like, you actually have to work hard. Like, it doesn't matter what level you're at in life, to maintain that lifestyle, you must work. like by fire, by force. And I say, like, even outside of deliverables, you've got to go out there and like do your own content and create your own niche. Like for example, like everyone from Love Island wants to be the next Molly May, but guess what? There's only one of her. But guess what? There's only one of you too. Yeah. So you've got to really push yourself. But I feel like TikTok definitely gives you the platform to make it happen. We've seen it everywhere, like whether they're in Ghana, Nigeria, Jamaica, it's happening. So I would say start making content, get on TikTok, you just never know. YOLO.
Candy? Yeah, that's it. Light one. Nice. Oh, that's you, baby. Candy?
I think social media in general has changed my life because I actually wasn't born in this country. I was actually an immigrant in Nigeria. And like looking forward to where I am now, the lifestyle that I have now and just being able to take care of myself financially, take care of my family, live alone and do all these things, like the me who was like sitting in Nigeria at like 8 or something, it would be a dream. Like I would never think this would ever happen to me. And all those years I spent working my 9 to 5, just like sobbing and really, really praying and hoping. And people would ask me, how's the social media job going? And I'm like, bro, nothing's happened. Like, I don't do it. So I feel like it's just made my life like kind of like my dream. The thing I always wanted to do, I've actually done it. Like manifestation works. So yeah, sensational.
Yes. Michaela, take us home.
TikTok has changed I think the actual app has changed my life because I kind of fell into this by accident. So TikTok has given me the platform to kind of be on a panel on a Saturday afternoon talking to other people about this. It's given me the opportunity to do crazy things just because I like to yap and I like to share my interests. And I think the life I live now, if I was looking back at that 2 years ago, because I've only been doing this for 2 years, if I was to look back just 2 years ago, I would be like, this is absolutely insane. And I think my life has done a complete 180 because one day someone asked me how to put my hair in a bun. So I'm so grateful for that person because my life has changed so much just because I put myself out there on the Clock app.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing your journeys. Round of applause. Now, we're going to get into the Q&A. We've got some roaming mics somewhere. Where are such roaming mics? I see lots of hands in the air. Lots of hands in the air for Detroit, yeah? Where are we've got they're everywhere, perfect. You? Yes, right, this lady right here, second row. She's got a serious question. I know she's serious business. Right there, yep, perfect.
Thank you. Hi, thanks so much, everyone. It was such a great panel. I have notes, just give me a sec. My first question is, how do you deal with negative comments and haters? I don't have any haters, but how do you guys deal with them?
Blocked, deleted.
Engagement.
Oh, God.
I entertain them. I got time. Babe, the way if you see my DMs, listen, guys, I'm not even going to get into story time, but I handle them. Probably shouldn't.
I had a phase where I would like reply to on Twitter. I would like.
No, you don't do comments, babe. You do it.
No, you got no. The thing is, you have to do it publicly to make an example, so other people know. Don't come around here trying to be bright because you will get blocked. But most times when I see people replying gracefully, I'm like, oh, that's nice. So now I just block and delete. You're too successful to be going back and forth with people on the DM.
No, guys.
I feel like we get paid enough to deal with the hate.
No, I do it.
You know what it is? I feel like the hate comes, but to me, I just see it as my passion and my job. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's just criticism. Like the same way, if you go in a job, your boss might tell you, "Oh, don't come in late or don't do this." I see the hate in the same way. Like it's just criticism of my job. Like it's just part of the job. Some people are rude, but I just like.
Also, guys,
I'm making a living out of it.
You can just, if it gets too much, you can just close the app, yeah? Close the app, take a breather, because online is one place and real life is another place. So just keep that in mind.
Online's a persona.
What is your second question?
Thanks. Second question is, in terms of content, like when you get PR and stuff, number one, what do you do with it? Because I'm running out of space in my house. And number two...
Period!
it's a first world problem, but it's actually a problem. I don't have enough faces for all this makeup. And number 2 is, how do you go from free products to money? Because I'm good on products. I want the money now. So how do you do that?
That's a really good question.
Okay, do you want to
That's
take
a good
it?
question.
About going from, so a really simple way to go from back to the analytics is the free stuff they've given you. Obviously, make content with the free stuff, collect the data, send the data to the brand, and then say, hey, have you got any paid collabs? Would love to work with you. This is what this did. But I do have a rule about that. If I give you mad free promo and you're acting like I don't exist, the time for free promo is done. Like, I won't even post about you. I won't talk about you. Like, and 9 out of 10 times, brands that really love and respect creators wouldn't do that. It's usually the brands that take the piss are the ones that you're like, bro, like, I'm pulling, you're not pushing back. Yeah. So because of that, I have to X you. And there's certain brands that, no, but it's true. No, like, it's a respect thing that has to go both ways. And I think oftentimes, sometimes brands feel exploited and sometimes creators feel exploited. I think you need to do what feels comfortable for you. That's just my boundary. And that's just like how I feel. Obviously, if you reach out to the brand and you're in conversation, that's one thing. But yeah, I think most brands that respect you wouldn't just act like you're not. That you've got motion. I've got motion. Why are you acting like I don't?
But I also feel like having a media kit is really important when you're first starting out, because that's what I had before I was signed to Storm. I had a media kit because you want to present yourself in a professional way that you want me to promote your brand, so also I need to be compensated. So I would suggest a media kit where you have all your analytics and your rates, how much you would charge for 1 post, 5 posts, and a bundle deal of like 20 posts. So I feel like that's a good place to start because the brands can see that you're serious and then you can send that as a file. Whereas just like, you know, highlighting your rates in an email, because you might be saying different rates to different people. And, you know, brands, once you've built that relationship with them, then they will respect you more. But at the start, you know, they're trying to, it has to be a fair deal. So I feel like a media kit is really important because the brands know that you're offering them the same thing, that you're the same rate to everybody and it's fair. Whereas you wouldn't like give a bigger brand a higher rate. So they just want to they want to feel, basically it's a relationship. They want to feel like they can trust you and you want to feel like you can trust them.
But don't put your fees in your media kit.
Don't put your fees in your media.
Yeah, don't put your fees in your media kit. You have a rate card and you have a media kit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Google
those
the
are
difference.
separate.
Yeah,
but yeah,
like your
there's a lot of things out there that can help you with that, starting with that. But it's a good start to be professional and to come to brands in a professional way because they respect you more. And then once you've built that, then you can move on to an agency who will negotiate on your behalf. But when you're negotiating on your own behalf, just, you know, come in a professional manner. Yeah.
We're going to take another question, but just on your second point, share your PR with your friends and family. Like, if you're running that space. Yeah. Ooh, here, the glasses, pass that down. Just that lady there, just 2 down. Perfect.
Yes, hi. My name is Miriam. I have a question on mental health and regret. Do you ever feel like you're overexposed? And what are your boundaries in terms of something that you've posted in the past that you've regretted? And how do your families feel about the fact that you put your lives online?
I'll take that. The only stuff I regret is when I have to do lingerie stuff. I'm like, oh, not again. Because my mom will be on me like, bro, are you getting paid for this? So I just say a justifiable rate and then it's okay. But it doesn't really... money. But I don't really have bad mental health. So like, at all points in your life, you're going to be embarrassing. So what does it matter what you posted? Like, to me, you just erase it from your mind and you move on. Yeah.
And it's not going to matter in 5 years. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Know your boundaries.
Clack it.
Thank you, Michaela. Give us a
Know your boundaries.
And
You
lingerie
don't
for
have
money.
to share your entire life online. And you can give a little piece of this, a little piece of that, what you're comfortable with posting. I feel like if you want to post a lingerie ad, get it, girl. But if you don't, you don't have to. It's your place and it's your platform. And I think boundaries is a good place to start.
Yeah. And I think also deciding what kind of talent you want to be. Someone like Whitney probably doesn't have the same luxury of privacy that I have because you won on a national show. There's certain things that people expect from Whitney they wouldn't expect from me because I just talk about makeup. And there's a very specific reason that my content is very makeup and fashion. Like, I used to vlog with my friends a lot in the past. I just don't do stuff like that anymore because I think when you give people, even in more recent times, I don't really post as much of my stories because
They get so invested.
no, it's not even the investment. Like,
Makeup.
people like to make their own reality based on what you've posted, which isn't necessarily the truth of my reality. But when you give people stuff, once you've given it, people can do what they want with the content. So they're going to run with it and they're going to make up their own, like, but that's not the truth. So what then ends up happening is we give less. Instead of trying to run your narrative, I will just give you less and I'll just go back to focusing on what I really love talking about, which is beauty and makeup. And we can yap about that. We don't have to yap about my personal life. So
Sure.
you can choose.
Yeah, I feel like if you see it as a job, then you can kind of like, it's an enjoyable job. Like it's what you want to post out there. So if you want to focus on makeup, solely focus on makeup, and like, you know, try not to. My personal advice is not to put too much of your personal life out there, because it comes back to bite you, because people kind of use it as entertainment rather than actually caring. So it's better to use your platforms for your niche rather than, you know, like putting all your personal business out there. It's not really necessary.
Thank you. We've got a lady over here, black hat. Oh, that's my loctician. Hey.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
Hey, honey.
Hiya. So I wanted to ask, I used to write poetry about real life experiences. And as Kim has mentioned, I do locks as well. I'm so into doing I'm so into doing my business that I've actually kind of stopped doing my poetry. And I used to post online. So how do I kind of work out how to balance it with being a full-time mom, a loctician, and a poet?
I feel like you could do vlogs, because you're not dedicating sitting down and filming, and it becomes such a task. I feel like I love watching random people's vlogs on TikTok. Like, I love seeing even a mum day in the life, what you're doing. I love seeing that. Like, as a content creator, I love seeing people that I don't know. I want to see what's going on in their life. So you don't need to be so dedicated to sit down and have good lighting and make it so like professional. You can actually just vlog your whole day, your life. Like, people want to see it. I want to see it. I'm curious. So.
And on top of that, when you're doing the vlog, the voiceover could be a poem. Like, people like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, combine it.
We love that.
Thank you. So what it is, I used to post every week on a Friday about real life experiences in poetry form. It was always a story. And every week someone would ask me, what's the next thing I'm going to do? And it was getting too overwhelming. So it's kind of like, how do I adjust to being a loctician, being a hairdresser, being a full-time mum, and also trying to post every week or as of when.
But why do you have to post every week? Is someone holding you prisoner?
No, definitely not. No, that's what I kind of gave myself to do.
Yeah, there's consistency and realism. Yeah. You can't, even when I had 9 to 5, I can't be like, I'm going to post every single day. What if a meeting came up? I literally can't do it. Yeah. So do what you can. Consistency isn't constantly doing something every day. It's doing it till it becomes your character. So just do it till it becomes your character, and then it will be fine.
Oh, thank you.
We've got a lady right at the back, hand high. Yeah, you, that's you. Yeah, you right there. Oh, no. Yep.
Hello, hi. My question is, how do you as creatives deal with burnout, especially when you're transitioning from a 9 to 5 to full-time? Like, how do you actually deal with it? Or even in general, like, as full-time creatives, how do you deal with burnout?
Personally, I rest.
Same.
Good.
Like,
Same.
what?
No, good.
I can't come and die. Like,
Yeah, no, same.
But what
I
I
rest until I'm ready to work again, because if I'm burnt out, then there's no good content coming out of me. Like, I need to
again,
bedrock.
they have the luxury of having some sort of platform. My take on this is slightly different, because I'm sure a lot of you guys here will probably have like goals and ambitions that you want if you are on socials and you want to grow your socials. When you are in a growth phase, so I have like quantified as like growth phase, maintaining phase. When you are in a growth phase, burnout is inevitable. If you're working at a high volume and you're working at a high level, as you should be, if you are trying to hit certain goals, you are naturally going to get tired because you're putting a lot of work. But think about all of the things that ever, like, that have ever been worth a damn, you have to work to a certain level, whether that was like your GCSEs or your A-levels or when you were studying for your degree. You will get tired. And I feel like people don't want to be tired. Oh, I'm tired, I'm going to... Get up and do the work that you need to do.
No.
I have to
No, wait, let me land.
No, because I have to be...
So.
It's all about balance.
So.
Well, there is always...
No,
there is,
I don't think
but
so.
wait, there is a season for rest. There's always going to be
No one's saying we want to rest for a year.
But we're talking about
But
burnout.
We're talking about like one day off.
No, but that's not what we're talking about. People...
No one's saying like sleep.
Okay, again, like I said, Whitney has the luxury of, you have the luxury of you're in a certain place. I feel like when you aren't in a certain place that you want to be in, you don't necessarily always have the luxury of rest. And I'm not saying you have to kill yourself, because anyone that knows me knows that, like, I love to rest, I love to be horizontal, but I also think you need to do what you need to do and also factor in the time to...
Wait.
Go on, babe.
But if you create in a way that Uche does, let's say one day you did 3 videos or you did 5 videos, and those videos can be spread out. When you are tired and you need 2 to 3 days off, you have content because you bulked content. If you shoot 1 video a day, forget it.
But that's my point.
Forget
but
it.
If you're not going to film 1 video a day and be like, oh, I'm so tired, like you barely did anything.
Good time
management. I agree with that.
Good time
I'll
management.
do all my content in one day. So I'll do my week's worth of content. I will do like a week's worth of content when I have the motivation, and I will just bang it out. I'll do my ads, I'll do my personal content,
100%.
I'll do everything in one day. And then, because I'm feeling motivated.
But we're talking about burnout, guys.
No, but that's
She's
when
done
I
all
have
my work
motivation.
all week, and now she's
But
tired
now, for the rest of the week, if I want to chill, for the rest of the week, I can, because I've done all my work. So I feel like it's about finding your balance. Like
to summarize,
when you have,
should we just summarize?
Backlog content.
Backlog your content.
Backlog your content.
So if you're having a rough day,
If you have a 9 to 5, you can't backlog content. And this is what I'm saying about, like, sometimes if you're on a 9 to 5, you have to, Rua. Yeah. Sorry, you have to wake up at 6 a.m. so you can bang out the content and then go to work. Of course, when you come home, you're going to be tired, but you need to edit the content. And that's what I'm talking about. At the weekend, you can sleep on Saturday and Sunday.
But
Monday
she
to
doesn't
Friday,
do this yearly. Uche does periods of time where she's goal-driven. And for that period of
that's
time,
why I
it
talk
might
about
be 3
growth
months,
phase.
she will run like it's nothing. Even if she's tired, she'll create. And then after, she'll maintain and she can rest. But if you want to hit like 10K, 15K, that's the time where you run for it. One thing goes viral, the next has to go viral. You need to keep going. You can't be like, I'm tired. You got to get up.
You just had a viral moment, you're laying down.
yeah, you can't. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You can't chill when you're building. You can only chill when you're maintaining. Like that's the difference. When you're building, there's no time to chill. You have to keep going, because otherwise, like a week, 2 weeks of time out is too much.
Going again.
Yeah, you need to.
let's have a round of
every day.
applause. Our time is up.
Sorry, the
Welcome back on
Our time is up, and we are in a growth phase, ladies.
We are in a
because we're going to be
Guys,
moving
rest.
on. Yes, well, there is time to rest because the next talk's in an hour. But before that, can we please give a warm, huge reception for fantastic Kim, Kenza, Uche, Whitney, Candy, and Michaela, the girls that get it. That was sensational, very insightful. I will see you all back here at 5 p.m. for a discussion on hair featuring Mikai, who's Kenza's fave. Thank you so much.
If you get